What is up, people? What is going on? It's just hanging out in another live stream. Some new people I subscribe to. A little bit of a language barrier there, but it was still a lot of fun hanging out with them, talking. I had to use Google Translate to communicate a little bit. They spoke enough English. They were from Russia. Really cool people hanging out at this very lovely cafe. Stop, Peanut. Come on, dude. So we were hanging out with them for a little bit, hanging out in their stream. Great people, a lot of fun to talk to. Google Translate wasn't quite getting it right, but it was still a lot of fun to hang out with them and talk with them, and they seem like really cool people. So that's what I was just doing. Then I figured, you know what? They were having such a good stream, and they decided to get off. I wanted to jump in and go ahead and do a little bit of a stream. I do have to go to Nashville tonight, so that's going to be fun. Go hang out there for a little bit. Everybody loves Nashville. I don't see the big deal in it anymore, but then again, I've been going there for so much now. It's just not the same. But everybody seems to still have a good time down there. Tons of bachelorette parties, just tearing it up. I think we saw, at least when I was down there the other night, I probably saw a good 12 bachelorette parties. So, I understand it's good for Nashville, and that's always a positive for us. But it gets hectic. It gets very hectic down there sometimes. But I'm going to be back down there tonight for a few hours. Won't be able to do any of the touristy stuff. Last time we went down there the other night, we took Evie's dad to go hang out and check out the area. So we did the walk around thing with all the touristy stuff going on, but I'm just not big onto it's just not my scene. So I'm just doing some tags here. I never do tags when I'm doing live streaming. This should help out actually a lot more. Just a chat. But anyway, hello, Lord Bacon. Hey, man, haven't seen you in a while, broski. How you been? Pat Mustard, always a pleasure, good sir, to see you stopping in and coming to hang out with us. It's always a pleasure when you do. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Pat's great. Pat's been hanging out for quite a bit. But like I said, just hanging out with this Russian couple. I subscribed to their channel. Again, we had a little bit of a language barrier, and I was using Google Translate to talk. Their English was it was decent enough. They were able to read what I was saying, but I wanted to be respectful on their stream, so I was trying to use the Google Translate as best as I could for most of the conversation. And I couldn't understand really their responses, but we got the gist enough that communication was actually really good, and they seemed like really nice people, lovely little couple. And they were just really cool people. So I've subscribed to them, so you guys can probably find them. I forget what their names. The one guy's name was Antonio, so I was just calling him Tony. They got a kick out of that, I guess. So that was a lot of fun. Gary, there's Gary. How are you, Gary? Saw Gary a couple days ago. Had his awesome birthday. Let's see. And he got to go out for a night, get some food, get some drink into his system, and have a good time. And that's good. That's always good. Birthdays are important. You should celebrate your birthdays. You never know if you're going to get another one. I'm good. It's hot here today. I got to get ready to get clothes ready to go down to Nashville because I have to turn this into something presentable in such a manner. So it's gonna take some work. Gonna have to clean the hair up a little. I think I'm gonna go with my hair down tonight though to the show. So that should be actually really good. And I got to get my outfit ready. I got to get my jewelry all ready to go. It's a setup. It's part of the performance. So when I go down there, it's part of the show. It's part of the show to have me doing what I'm doing there. So as part of the show, I need to look the part. So I'm gonna make sure I gussy myself up a bit. Maybe I'll wear the German hat downtown tonight. I don't know. Probably not. But this is going to be a lot of fun. I haven't done this in a while. It's probably been a good 6 or 7 months. I did get some really good news in the mail, but I'm not gonna jinx it and say what it is until I know that it's done. Mr. B, hello, amigo. What is going on, good sir? Namaste. Haven't seen you in a while. I saw your comment. Thank you to have you back. Glad to see you again. Hopefully, guys, everything's going well. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that live stream the other day, and you enjoyed the video we uploaded of the Jefferson Davis Memorial, which was really fun to go out and visit and check that out. I'd been to it before, but I'd never gone up. So that was my first time going up. But it was a lot of fun. It was cool to see, beautiful view, interesting history to learn. Just interesting at seeing all the stuff and when it was built and the construction and learning about it was just a lot of fun. And then finding the distillery on the way back was amazing. I did not expect that one at all. We just kind of saw it. I was like, well, we're pulling off. So yeah. Oh, well, good. I'm very glad. It was a little shorter than I thought it was going to be. No, not Mr. Sanders. Although it would have been his if we'd have found it, it would have been his secret spot of herbs and spices. But overall, no, it wasn't Colonel Sanders. But they did have a Colonel Sanders poster. So there was a picture of a colonel somewhere I saw. probably at this didn't. Did I ever find that magnet? No, that's long gone. I've lost 2 magnets in that river now. And a lot of people have been commenting on the videos, and they're always telling me where to go, how to find the magnet, or where it is. But you guys got to realize that underwater current. What? What do you want? What do you want? No. Wait for the stream to be over. Come here. Come on, P. Up and over. There he is. There's my good boy. Hi, good boy. There's my good boy. Tom, good to see you, man. How are you? Good to see you. But no, do they actually show the secret recipe? I'm not a big KFC fan. I don't like fried chicken very much. I prefer baked chicken or breast meat of chicken. Just not a fried chicken. Now, don't get me wrong. I do eat chicken wings and I like drumsticks and all that, but I prefer chicken breast. It's just not a fried chicken kind of guy. It's just not my thing. But who doesn't love some KFC? The biscuits are great. The potatoes, I make better potatoes, I must say. I make homemade mashed potatoes, and I kill it. If you guys ever had my homemade mashed potatoes, you'd swear off mashed potatoes. You don't understand what good mashed potatoes taste like. I make some amazing mashed potatoes. If I do say so myself. And I do. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Fair enough. But if you were, you'd work for churches, I bet. Oh, that's a spicy chicken. Anyway, so, well, we got some bad math going on here, people. I got 7 of you hanging out and 2 thumbs up. Oh, that's bad math. We got to fix that math. Just Show, hello. I don't think I've ever seen you in here before, Just Show. It's a pleasure to have you stopping on by. Appreciate you coming to hang out with us a little bit. Get ready to head to Nashville tonight. Vladdy's coming with us too, so maybe we'll do a live stream from the car ride into Nashville with you guys. We'll have Vladdy, Evie, myself. We'll go down there and enjoy, have a good time. You guys can join us for the ride into town. Like I said, the band and the label I work for, and the band is going to be doing a live show tonight in Nashville. If you're in Nashville, by any chance, by some crazy chance, you happen to find yourself in Nashville tonight, I'm going to be at Crazy Town at 6 o'clock tonight, p.m. So if you guys want to find me down there, just look for the guy with the beautiful hair. That'll be me. And I'll be down there. So if somebody, just by chance, you're visiting Nashville, you're in the Nashville area, whatever, where are you from, Just Show? Just Show, where are you from? If I apologize if you don't understand, I'll do my best to do some translate for you if I can understand, if I can figure out what country you're from, and I'd be happy to. Wait, are you the guys I was just watching? Is Tony? Is that Tony? Tony! Wow, that really broke bad. Tony! Is that Tony? That is Tony, isn't it? That's my boy, Tony. Let me bring up my Russian translate again. Let's see. English to Russian. We'll bring that back up. Very good. I'll do my best. Hello. Hello and welcome. I spelled it wrong. Hold on. Let me do my best. Hey, 1 second. Hello and welcome. There we go. That is my boy, Tony. That is Tony. I was just talking about you guys. You guys were absolutely amazing to hang out with. There we go. I was just talking with Tony and his lovely wife. They were beautiful. She had the loveliest earrings. Lovely earrings. And Stephen, hello, sir. Namaste. Namaste. So, yeah. Hold on. Let me translate this real quick. I got to do English to Russian and Russian to English. Let me copy that. This is how we do it, but I'm going to do my best. Let's see if I can do my best. Let's do Russian to English. We'll do another tab for Russian to English. Translate. And I've copied what he said, and I've done this before, so this is no big deal. We've done it with our German friends, and I'll translate that. Oh, he says hello. Hello. Okay, cool. So now we've got the setup. I've got my English to Russian, Russian to English. So I will do my very best, just show. In fact, I'm going to go to your channel real quick to make sure you are who I think you are. I think you are who I think you are. How to pronounce that? I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. But that's okay. That's no big deal. Let me see. I got my phone here, so let me go to their channel so I can verify. If it's who I think it is, I think it's Tony. We'll find out in just a second. Yep, it is. Yep, there they are. That was them right there. They just did their live stream. So you guys go over to Just Show's channel, thumbs up, subscribe to his channel. They were great. Him and his wife were amazing. They're hanging out at this little cafe. It was absolutely beautiful. Great little place. Great little place. Told them they need to come to Tennessee. Come on, Tony. Come to Tennessee. Come hang out in Nashville. Got so many people waiting to stop on by. Do I have a hairband? I kind of want to put my hair up. Yeah, right there. It's kind of hot. So let me put my hair up. Well, no, I was using the Google Translate. I'll always try to do my best to Google Translate for anybody. Hello, Grace. Hello. Pleasure to have you. Oh, this is so nice. We got our friends from Russia stopping in. It's always a pleasure. Let me make sure I say hello to them. Hello and welcome. Let me make sure I hit them with one as well. I'm going to keep that on because that's a decent translate to use right off the bat. We are here with... Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you, guys. I understand the translation's coming through a little bit here. So that's understandable. But thank you so much, Tony. Tony's a good guy. You guys were fun. He had a nice S2 watch, just like Evie has. His wife had these really pretty earrings. I'm glad Evie's asleep because if she'd have seen them, she'd have been like, I want those. I want those. It's not happening. Tom, you speak so many great languages. It's amazing to have you guys. You guys are welcome. Please, Tony, don't feel like you need to type in English. Feel free to just throw it in Russian, and I'll be more than happy to translate it. And I'll always do my best to respond also, to be courteous. Always trying to be courteous. So Russian's fine, no problem. It's great to have you guys stopping here. I guess we should do some voices here for a minute since we've got a little time. Asleep, well, I know, but we have to get ready to go to a show. So when I do shows, I try to not wake up until late so that I can stay up no problem all through the show. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys. Staying out in Nashville is tiring. I'm going to have to talk for probably the next... It'll start at 6, and I won't stop talking, moving, walking, whatever, for 4 hours. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled. But we did need to get that. Mr. B, he's being very nice there. Hold on. He said his English is no worries. There we go. Let me do this. I always try to do this. When our friends from Germany, mein Deutsch ist nicht gut, mein Deutsch ist still, so du verstehen. I will always do my best, though, to translate. My español es muy bien. Yo comprende mucho, but no mucho communicate. I don't speak as much Spanish as I understand. They do a little bit. You're an aging punk rocker. They do country. They do some country rock, new rock, old rock. They do a little bit of everything. The band does some great stuff. If you guys want to check them out here, I'll actually give you the band name, and you can check them out on either Reverb Nation, Lower Broadway Band. You can look them up on Facebook. They're on Facebook, the Lower Broadway Band. You guys can check them out online. I've got a few videos loaded up on YouTube. If you want to go find them on YouTube, you can look up the Lower Broadway Band and check them out. But they do a little bit of everything. What's up, bro? You're the Australian guy. We'll rock on. Rock on. That Australian guy. Well, we're always happy. I love my people from Australia. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm always happy to meet people from other countries and everything like that. And I think people get a little shocked when I tell them, one, that I used to be a soldier, U.S. Army, hua. And does she now? D Lang, I have not. Want to play Fortnite? I'll tell you what, as soon as I'm going to do the stream, I just wanted to get a little bit of a stream going in on this one. I got to get ready to leave here by 4:30. I have to leave here by 4:30 to get to Nashville. Parking is always atrocious. One more time. Atrocious. Okay, so parking's atrocious. No. I got to go down to Nashville. I'm very well, thank you. Glad to have everybody. Very well. Thank you. Thanks. They were in a beautiful cafe at the airport in what is my profession? Well, let's see. I used to be a soldier. Hold on, let me show you. Oh. Here we go. So there's a good old Fort Knox Army. And let me see if I can find a picture of your boy. Blah, 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 blah. We've done this before. This isn't anything special. Let me see. Where am I? I'm in the M's, the G's, the G's. There I am. Right there. There's me. Right there. There's your boy. And now I do work for a record company in Nashville. There we go. Copy that. See, this is what's great. I love Google for these things. It's amazing that we're able to connect the world like this together. So my profession is being awesome. My job is awesome. I'm awesome. Hello, Lex. You were a cadet in your school years. That's amazing. That's awesome. Well, very cool. I've always had a found admiration. Some of the Russians are amazing. Their army is it's blown away. I've got to serve with a bunch of other militaries. I was telling Tony about that there was a tank outside of my base in Afghanistan. Just outside the ECP, there was a tank, and it was an old Russian tank from when Russia was in Afghanistan. I was always fascinated by it. I found it very fascinating. But here's something for you there, Tony. When we were in the military, part of our training was the worst day ever. This was the hard one. When we had to do the gas masks, and then they put us in the gas chamber, and then everybody comes out dying. It was bad. Come out choking and sick, throwing up, falling down. Look at that poor guy right there. They just gassed us. People hurt. That hurt so bad. I've never had that kind of weird experience before. It doesn't feel like you're trying to breathe, but it doesn't feel like you can. And then I'll never forget, I was able to finally get enough breath together. And I said to my drill sergeant, I can't breathe. And he goes, well, you're screaming a lot for someone who can't breathe. And I was like, okay, he's right. Calm down. Breathe. That hurts. But breathe. All right. You have a great flight. Have a safe flight. Hold on. Let me get this in real quick. Have a safe and wonderful flight. You have a safe and wonderful flight. There we go. Let's get that in there before they have to go to their plane. I don't want them to miss that. You have a great one, buddy. Thank you so much. It was so much nice getting to meet Tony and his wife. Absolutely lovely couple, guys. If you haven't, go ahead and go over to their channel, subscribe. There's some great people. It's amazing getting to hang out with them. They were so much fun. Beautiful little cafe. And that's what's great. Oh, I caught it. Haha. Bye. You guys have a good time. It was nice to meet you. So anyway, so for those who don't, we've gone over this book before though, so we're not going to go over too much of it. Let's see. There's just some of the awards I've been given. There's some award. I don't remember what that was for. And here's this one, the American. I got this from them, whoever they are. And then the Community of Heroes. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't feel like I'm a hero in any shape or form, but the Community of Heroes recognized me. I don't know what that means. And that's just these are just some awards I received later on in life. I do have other awards that I've received through the military. And actually, here, I'll go over it real quick. We got a second. This is what's called let me cover up this part. You guys don't need to see that part. This is what's called a DD-214. Every veteran in the entire Army, military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, we look forward to getting our DD-214. And this is basically a rundown of my entire military career, everything I did and everything along those lines. But let's see. I got the Afghan Campaign Medal with the Campaign Star, Army Commendation Medal. I was honored by the Army twice for those, 2 Army Commendations Medal. My Army Achievement Medal, I received 2 of those. My Meritorious Unit Conduct Medal, that was my Good Conduct Medal. I received 2 of those. Army Good Conduct, yep. National Defense Service Medal, my Meritorious Unit Commendation, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal with Block 18. I always have to come down. I got a lot of awards. Campaign Star. So I got the Campaign Star, the Army Service Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, 2 of those. I received my NATO and also my NATO medal. So I was awarded by NATO. So there we go. And that was do I still have a uniform? Yeah, one second. Let me see if I can go find it. It shouldn't be too hard. Hold on. Wait, actually, I think I know exactly where the top is. Let's see. You know what? I have one. I still have my uniform, but I'll tell you guys what. This is a good photo. You can see me in my nice uniform. This one was my nice uniform. So there's a picture of Evie and I. And there's me rocking the uniform. And I do love the jump boots. They had me wear the airborne jump boots. But there we go. There's all my awards and my medals, my honors, all that good junk. I look totally different, though, don't I? Look at the difference. My stream is lagging. Can you even see that? Can you imagine that's the same guy? Does that even look like the same guy? I don't know. Well, I'm sorry it's laggy. It's a little laggy. This wasn't the intent to do a very long stream. Just wanted to come in and say hey to everybody for a minute. Yeah. It was a good time. I'm not going to lie, though. The uniform looks sharp. The uniform. I was supposed to have another award right here next to this one, this little silver one that's dangling down. But the military dropped the ball on that one. They would never do the paperwork. I was supposed to have my award for that. And they never did the paperwork for me to get it. So I know in my heart I earned it, but I was supposed to wear it, but I never actually received it. It was just a mechanic's badge. It was my driver's mechanic's badge that I had 1,000 work hours accident free. So I was supposed to get that. I never, or 1,000 drive hours, 1,000 mechanic hours. I had my 1,000 mechanic hours probably knocked out within my first year in the military at best. Afghanistan, how many work hours? Let's do some quick math. I was doing 20-hour days for 96 days. So if I do 26 hours, let's see. So we'll do 20-hour days times 96. I did 1,920 hours in that time of work. And I kid you not, guys, that was no joke. Yeah, we did 20-hour days. I was doing 20-hour days because of the job I had. It was necessary. Whew, you're not kidding. For 96 days straight, 20-hour days. It was a lot of work, and I think I was talking to some therapists and stuff like that, and they were telling me that that kind of sleep deprivement can cause a lot of problems, and I think that's what has to do with my not being able to smoking kills. That's true. I'm gonna die either way, but I'll put it out for you. How about that? Man, though, it was rough though. But they said that that can attribute to a lot of the stress and stuff like that. And like sometimes it wasn't like 4 hours. Like when I say 20-hour days, sometimes that bled into another day before I would be able to go to sleep. And even then, I was distraught. They would come get me in the middle of the night all the time to come fix something, or something was happening that they needed me. There was always something to do, though. They were constantly bothering me. My name was written on a board up at the main what's called BDOC, which is the main battle hub for the base. And my name was written directly on the board. Should you lose power, find Specialist Green Bomb at this tent. And man, there'd be so many nights where I would have just gotten into my bunk, finally laid down, and you'd hear the door, Specialist Green Bomb. I wasn't a sergeant yet. I'm looking for Specialist Green Bomb. What do you want? Our generator's not working. Did you check it? Yeah, we don't know what's wrong. Does it have fuel? Yeah. If I get up and it doesn't have fuel, I'm kicking somebody. Okay, it doesn't have, I'd get over it. It doesn't have oil. There'd be no oil. I'd be like, oh my God. Oh my God. There was one time where it was about midnight and I had gotten into my bunk for about an hour, and the NCO came over, and not my sergeants, but a sergeant in my unit came over and, hey, Green Bomb, we got a problem in our tent. Now, I like this NCO. He was a really great guy. Sergeant Bell. What an amazing guy. You guys see me play with Sergeant Gladhill as well. So Sergeant Bell came to my tent. Green Bomb, we got a problem. Half the power in the tent isn't working. What do you mean half the power in the tent isn't working? Half the lights are out? He's like, yeah, half the tent has no power. I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. Which you got to remember, though, guys, when you think about what it takes, okay, I was in my PT uniform, okay? So to go back to work, I had to change back out of that, put my boots back on, and there is no worse feeling in the world than when your feet hurt and you take your boots off, right? And your feet start feeling good because the weight is off. And don't get me wrong, these Army boots aren't light. They weigh 8 pounds. Just the boots weigh 8 pounds. So you're attaching a 4-pound brick to your boot, almost to your foot every time you throw one on. I believe it's 8 pounds. It might be 6. I could be wrong. It could be 6 pounds for the boots. Either way, the whole uniform weighed 20 pounds. Just the uniform, just the top, the pants, the belt, the T-shirt, the socks, and the boots was 20 pounds. So, push those boots back on. I get over to his tent. Sure enough, half this tent has no power, and they're like, we have nothing. We have no lights, no nothing. I'm like, okay, hold on. So I go over to the generator. It's running fine. Go to the distribution box I'd set up. Everything looks fine there. No, please do, Steven. Absolutely. You guys are more than welcome to add me on Facebook. Just understand one thing. I'm going to say one thing here. I'll tell you about this. Okay, my Facebook is my personal Facebook. And if I post something on there that you don't like, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna not post it. Now, my Twitter is a little more conservative, so I'm very, very sketchy on what I post on Twitter as well as Instagram. Very just YouTube oriented, but my Facebook is more that I use for connecting with friends and families on a personal level. So yes, Steven, you are more than welcome to add me on Facebook. Happy to do so. Just understand that there may be things that are different than you realize from YouTube, than what I present to YouTube as I present to my Facebook. It's generally the same concept. I've never not been a person. I just don't push as many issues on here as if I have a strong opinion about an issue. I will state my opinion on Facebook, but YouTube, the platform, I'm trying to connect with more people. So I try to keep political views, religious views to a bare minimum on here. Not to say we can't discuss those things, and hopefully no one ever gets offended. If you do, that's not my fault. But Facebook is a little more private. So you're more than welcome to. Absolutely. Oh, well, absolutely. Yeah, it's no big deal. I mostly post just funny stuff. I just try to post funny stuff. But once in a while, yeah, I don't like Twitter. I don't like Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter fan. I know I need to be, but, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But, no, it's good times. So I get over to the tent, though. I check the distribution box. and that's got power. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So I wind up tracing the line, and basically what happened is they unplugged an extension cord. The extension cord that plugged into the box, it was just as simple. I walked over to it, plugged it back in, lights came up, power came back up. Yeah, everyone's clapping. I'm like, the bill's in the mail. You guys unplugged an extension cord. And I always used to tell people, I was like, look, think about this. When you were at home and say the lights went out, a light bulb, the light bulb's out. Do you call the electrician? No. You start doing things yourself and checking, see what changed. Hey, man, did someone check everything? Everybody knew there were extension cords. Sergeant Bell was so apologetic. He's like, man, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to wake you and bother you for that. And I was like, hey, you know what? It's okay. It's part of my job. I would have preferred that they would have at least attempted to fix the issue themselves before coming to get me. But it was what it was, and the problem was solved, and everybody had their power, and that's what was important, is that everybody was comfortable and good to go. Because honestly, a lot of the people in that tent were the people at the time who were guarding the entrance to the base, and if they can't sleep or they're uncomfortable or they're late for work, that means my protection level was lowered. So keeping people comfortable was how I saw as keeping myself safe as well. Oh, I was honored by the base. After that 96 day was up, it was brought to the attention of the base commander and our sergeant major on post, which she was a lovely lady. She was quite nice to me. It was also her tent one time. It was a Sunday, and I was down at the bazaar trying to get some haircut, energy drinks, and whatnot. And she tells me, "Hey, Greenbaum, my tent power's out. Can you go fix it?" I'm like, man, I'm trying to hit I'll go fix it for you. Roger that, Sergeant Major. Permission to go to your tent? Roger, yeah, go to my tent. Roger that. I get over there. She had plugged too much stuff in, and it tripped a breaker. So all I did is I just balanced the loads out from not all of it on this one. I plugged a couple things in over here, flipped her breaker back, went and told her, all set, Sergeant Major, you're all fixed. She was so amazed by that. I didn't really do anything. But I think the following week it was that I was brought into the command post again, where they presented me. I was the hero of the month, the warrior of the month, as they called it. And I was given a special coin. I got to meet the two-star general came to the base. And when he came to the base, I got to go meet him, which it really didn't mean anything to me. Meeting a general didn't really, I don't know, maybe it's just I don't get starstruck or something like that, or it wasn't very impressive to me. There was another time, too, where we had a 3-star general come. And, oh, my God, you should have seen the base flipping out. Oh, my God, a 3-star's coming. And he wanted to inspect the motor pool where we worked. And we had tents set up. Each tent represented a different shop. You know, this was the truck shop, the generator shop, AC, armament, communications. So he's going shop to shop. And he pulls up to the communication shops, and all the soldiers come running over to talk to him. And then he moves on to the AC shop. All the soldiers come running over to talk to him. He goes to the wheeled vehicle shop, and all the soldiers come running over to talk to him. He came to our shop, and my sergeant went out to go greet him. I told my people, don't you dare move. We are working. We have things to do right now. So we stayed on our generator, and basically I'm working. They said, and here's the generator shop. And the general says, hello, soldiers. How you doing today? How you doing, sir? Back to it. He comes walking over. So what are you guys doing here? You know, what's going on? A couple of them start talking to him, and I'm over here working my wrench. And he say, what are you doing over here, specialist? And I said, sir, not to be rude in any way, shape, or form, but I am very, very busy right now. If you'd like to speak to me, that's fine. But can you hand me that wrench over there? That general, you should have seen the look on his face. He was like, these are the kind of soldiers I want right here. I just didn't have time. I really didn't. I had like a backlog of generators to fix. I got this one has to be done in the next 30 minutes so I can get started on the next one. I've still got to go make my rounds for checks today. And all of this stuff was going on. I didn't have time to sit for 5 minutes. But I will say this, though. The general went and talked to our captain, and he was telling him, he's like, man, that's the generator shop. Your generator shop has got it spot on. And he was like excited that I blew him off. Because I was like, look, I just don't have the time. I really, really don't. I don't have 5 minutes to stop here and talk with you. I don't have 2 minutes to sit here and talk with you. Because in 2 minutes, that's what's going to take to get this part loose and get this piece tested and get this one on. This is what I can do in 2 minutes. And you are wasting my time, sir. And it's nothing against you, but he was just so blown away by that. And when he left the general, my sergeant came over. And he was like, dude, dude, I am so proud of you guys. The way you blew him off like that, that makes us look so good. He was so happy about that, but I don't think there's ever been anybody. He looked startled at first. The general looked very startled at first that I was like, look, if you want to speak to me, that's fine, but you're going to have to help me. You're going to need to pass me some tools. That's how you can take the time to speak to me. Other than that, I'll give you the respect you needed, but absolutely. Absolutely. They were so happy. I just don't think that he expected that, but to be told I'm busy, I have work to do, and I don't want to stop working. I think it really impressed him a lot, but it was just how I was. It wasn't that I was trying to impress him. I literally just had no time. I never had time. Never had time. I was always working. Can't remember a time when I wasn't busy. It probably took a good 6 months before I finally was able to catch my breath again, take a moment to relax and breathe, where I could finally get a steady schedule, or a shift. And then eventually I burned out, where I was just like, I told them I can't work in the shop anymore. I can't do this. I need a break. And that's when they sent me to go do guard towers for a couple months while I just couldn't do the shop anymore. I was just getting burned out. And it was a lot. 20-hour work days. And that was 7 days a week, So 140 hours a week of work is generally what I was doing any week, 140 hours. So you're looking at something like 560 hours a month of work, which is ridiculous. I literally had I worked, the time I had off was equal to what I worked in a week. So you can imagine that's a lot. And I'm not saying this to brag in any way, shape, or form. It's the reality of the thing is that soldiers get overworked. Well, at least I'm not going to say that. I got overworked like a beast, and I'm just going to put it out there. Yes, I got overworked because we were put into a base situation where generators became essential. It became one of the most essential pieces. I got your friend request right there, Steve-O. Let me go ahead and accept it. I was an essential key member. Where we were, oh yeah, it had to be done. There was no do or die. I'm also surprised too when I show this photo, people don't realize that that's me in my thumbnail. That is me. Somebody asked me too why I was using a soldier as my little bubble on YouTube. Have I ever worked on helicopters? No. But actually, Tom, Vladdy Conquistador, he was an helicopter mechanic. So if you ever wanted to discuss helicopters, Vladdy would be the one to talk to on that one. But yeah, people don't know that was me. And somebody actually sent me a message and said, why do you use a picture of a soldier as your picture on YouTube? It's like, because it was me. I don't know why people would want to use photos of other people. Oh, wow. But yeah, yep. Interesting times. It's hard to remember. Normally I can remember, there's certain things that I can remember, specific days, like specific things, like even minute things, just sitting and playing a video game in Afghanistan. I can remember doing that, but I can't remember the work days. There are certain work days I can remember, like specific events, but for the most part, it was just the same thing over and over and over and bleeding. I would wonder that too. I've seen people do that though, where they take pictures of, somebody else random and they use it as their thing, which I understand if that's what you want to do, so be it. But it's just odd that someone would question that without even looking into my channel first. Just send me a message. Hey, what the hell? Like catfishing. Absolutely. It's just, why? What's the point? I'm very proud of the life I've lived and what I've done with myself. So I'm very proud of me. So I love using my photos and stuff like that. It's been an interesting life and I can't complain. Gone through some shit, but who hasn't, right? It's just part of life. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, I got about an hour before I got to wake up Evie. So I think I'm going to jump on a little Fortnite. So if you guys want to come play some Fortnite, I'm going to go ahead and get on there real quick for a little bit. Evie and I were watching a movie last night. We decided to throw in Shawshank Redemption. Evie'd only seen it the one time, which it was filmed at the Mansfield Reformatory, not far from her hometown. It's one of the most haunted places in America. So we're going to go back there someday for a visit. Even with, I think my disabilities are a result of an awesome life. You can't go through life being amazing without taking some scars. That's just fact. So to live a life of interesting, to live a life that's, I don't know, above and beyond, you have to take scars. You know, safety, the only way to live a life safe is to live nothing dangerous. And without danger comes no risk. Without risk comes no scars. So even with my disabilities, I agree with you, Tom. Yeah, I hear you, man. Oh, I have really, you do? It's a great movie. We didn't finish it last night. We had to go over to Vladdy's and then we got back, and I haven't had enough sleep in the last 4 days. I'm just not sleeping well. Apparently Evie said the other night I was laying down here and I passed out on the couch and I was whimpering in my sleep. I've had the worst back pain and I don't even know. It's just been so bad in my lower back. I don't know what's wrong. It just hurts a lot. But what are you going to do? That's pain. Life is pain. It's when it stops hurting, I'm going to think that there's a problem. But it was a lot of fun. Good times. I wouldn't have traded my life for anything. Good. You should be proud. Everybody, you should be proud. Absolutely. My PTSD makes me a little more aggressive than I would sometimes like to be when it comes to things. I'm very direct. And I don't think people like the finesse of the filter. You can see the soldier when I'm talking to somebody or there's an issue. It gets, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I've been told when I speak with some people, I can get very aggressive. And it's just that the way the military is, it's very direct. Like people like to filter around when they talk, and I'll go straight to the point and I'll tell them, this is this. I know it doesn't seem like me aggressive, but trust me, I can. If it's something that someone wants to talk about and they want to be, it's just the military way of talking is very direct, very aggressive in our speaking. The military has taught us when someone comes at you with aggression, the only proper way to respond to that is to come at it with a higher level of aggression. So if someone comes at you with violence, the way you respond is with an overwhelming and abundant amount of violence back towards them, and that should quell it. And that generally is how it works. If someone gets aggressive, you get overly aggressive and they generally back down. If they don't and they get overly aggressive, then you go higher aggressive. And that's how you keep winning. That's just the way the military taught me. If someone comes at you with violence, you respond with more and abundant violence. And that's how I was taught to train. So I know it sounds harsh, but if someone swings at you, break their arm. That's how it works. I don't want to do that. I would never want to, but that's how I was taught is you respond with higher level of aggression. Someone shoots at you, we bomb them. See how that works? Higher level of aggression. Now, people see things such as the word violence and aggressive as negative words, and I don't like attaching to something positive or negative. It is what it is. Words can't be negative or positive. They are what they are, and that's just the way it has to go sometimes. But like I said, guys, I've got about an hour and a half till Vladdy gets here. I got to wake Evie up for getting ready and stuff in about an hour. I want to get a little bit of Fortnite in. So, oh, I hear you, Stephen. No doubt, Stephen. I hear you. You guys have heard my brother. Story of my brother. He committed suicide when he was 18 years old. I witnessed it when I was 16, and it's still very traumatic. But it's been a long time since then. It doesn't bother me as much anymore. It's just other things there's so many sources of. I would say I have like compounded PTSD. So. But we will see you guys later. I'll probably do maybe a little video from downtown. I might go live for the car ride into Nashville. So if you guys want to check in about 3.5 hours, if you're still awake for those, if it's not too late, we'll maybe do a ride in and you guys can come hang out with us for a little bit longer. Is that the reason I want to be Army? No, I was broke. That's why I joined. I was broke. I was in such bad debt. I was in bad debt. So I needed something. I had just racked up $33,000 in college debt, and I had a few more $1,000 in debt lingering over my head. And it was the fastest, easiest way to take care of myself, not rely on others, and have a job that would help with that. And it worked out well because when I left for college, when I went to college, I'm going to tell you guys this before I get off. When I went to college, I had a sleeping bag. And when I say a sleeping bag, literally it was a sleeping bag. And I had it stuffed with some clothes. I had one pair of shoes, a pair of boots is what I had. And I had a 14-inch screen, a little 14-inch TV. That's it. That's all I had in the world. Everything I had. I think I maybe had $10, $10. That was it. So when I got to college, I had no money. I was flat broke. I went to college because I was in a bad situation. I knew I needed to change my situation. So yeah. Oh, well, good, Supreme Rec. I'm so glad that you got your 150 mark on your subscribers. Way to go, buddy. So when I look at though where I was, which is 2018, I went to college in 2006. So in 12 years, I went from pretty much homeless, broke, with nothing. I had nothing to my name, nothing, and debt out the ass. And now I own my own home, several vehicles, and I'm okay. But it took a lot. To get to what that was, the Army did take a lot. And, with the PTSD from the thing with my brother, it was an easy segue. I mean, I was like, what's the worst that can happen to me? I've already gone through something terribly traumatic. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I would never, thank you so much, Tom, but I would never have changed a thing about it. I would never. You guys are amazing. Trust me. 700. I would never expect to have been to 1,700. Never. I'm still surprised how quickly it's growing. I'm absolutely amazed. I'm going to hit 2K sometime soon, and I'm completely blown away by that. And it's all because of you guys. But again, thank you so much for everybody who was hanging out. To our new friends, Tony and his lovely wife. I forget her name, and I'm so sorry. I hope they're having a wonderful flight in Russia. Gary in the UK. Tom over in the Netherlands. I believe Supreme Rec is also in the America with me. Steven as well. Thank you so much to everybody for everything you guys do. You guys are too amazing. To just little old me, I'm nobody special. I'm just a guy sitting behind a computer who talks in funny voices. That's how I see myself still too. Nobody special, just a guy does funny voices and talks to his computer. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for wasting some of your life with me. We'll see you in the next one. Don't tell me how to do my job.